What up, world? Welcome to Mills. Little Dog. Little Dog is not here. I'm still in the building, you know what I'm saying, to keep the show going. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? It don't cost nothing to subscribe. Today we're gonna talk about some NBA contracts, who dropped the bag, who got the bag, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do like a little video clip and talk about it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all don't know how these work, so I'm here to explain it to you a little bit. So let's dig in. Let's talk about DeMar DeRozan, who just signed with Denver. Let's take a look at his contract, see what he's getting paid, and see if he dropped the bag or got the bag. Let's go.
In July, the Sacramento Kings cut DeMar DeRozan, six-time All-Star, 16th on the all-time scoring list, 18 points a game last season, at 36 years old in 77 games. And now they have to decide something strange, not whether to pay him. That part's settled.
The Kings are waiving DeMar DeRozan, making the six-time All-Star an unrestricted free agent. That is according to multiple reports. DeRozan is entering the final year of his contract. He's set to make nearly $26 million next season. After joining Sacramento in a sign-and-trade back in 2024, he appeared in 77 games in each of his two seasons, averaging 20 points and 4 assists. Now he enters the market where several teams are expected to have interest.
They have to decide which years to pay him in, because there's a rule that lets a team take a man it already released and spread him across the next 3 seasons. He won't play a minute for them. He'll be on their books until 2029. Nobody broke a rule. That is the rule.
So don't feel sorry for him getting released, man. Nobody gonna feel sorry for DeRozan. Even though his contract he got with Denver is not that much, he's still getting paid from Sacramento. So you add the whatever Denver's paying him to what Sacramento's paying him, and then you get his contract. So we ain't gotta feel sorry for him.
We read the fine print so you don't have to. Here's the arithmetic. DeRozan was signed for one more season at $25.7 million. Only $10 million of it was guaranteed. Waiving him cleared the rest. That alone saved Sacramento about $15.7 million. But the $10 million doesn't disappear. Guaranteed money owed to a waived player stays on the team's cap sheet. He's gone. The money isn't. So the Kings have 2 options. Option 1, carry the full $10 million this season and be done with it. Option 2, stretch it. Spread that $10 million across 3 seasons at $3.3 million a year through the summer of 2029. Same money, different shape. And the shape is worth millions. The stretch provision wasn't written to be cruel. It was written to solve a real problem. Before it existed, a team that made a bad signing was stuck. A player who couldn't play or wouldn't fit sat on the books at full value for years. And nobody could do anything about it. Not the team, and not the player who often wanted out as badly as they wanted him gone. So, the league built a release valve. Waive him, let him go find a job somewhere he's actually wanted, and spread what you still owe over a longer stretch so it doesn't strangle your roster in the meantime. Both sides get something. He gets his freedom and every dollar. The team gets room to breathe, and the formula is almost...
So it kind of allows teams to still sign free agents, you know what I'm saying, without penalizing them. So he's still guaranteed his money. He gets his money. It allows the team to stretch the contract over multiple years. So it kind of benefits both sides.
Gentle. Twice the years remaining plus 1. 1 season left becomes 3. That's a good rule. Read it in 2011 and you'd have signed it.
And on top of that, they can waive and stretch that $10 million over 3 seasons. Basically, instead of paying $10 million for 1 year, pay 3 1/3 for the next 3 if they want to create some more savings. Maybe use the mid-level exception, give themselves a little bit more flexibility in trade. This move for the Kings had nothing to do with next year's roster. It was mostly a financial maneuver for a rebuilding team that could not justify a gigantic payroll.
Since we in DFW, there's somebody else you're probably a little bit more familiar with who did the same thing. So let's take a look at what he did. Here we go. Let's take a look at
Want to know what that actually looks like?
if you look
Don't
familiar,
imagine
y'all.
it. Go look at JaVale McGee. In 2022, the Dallas Mavs signed him to a 3-year deal. It didn't work. By the following summer, he'd fallen out of the
Still paying
rotation
him.
entirely, and Dallas couldn't find anyone to trade for him. So they stretched him. He was owed $11.7 million over 2 remaining years. Under the formula, twice the years plus 1. That became 5 seasons at about $2.3 million each. 5 years. JaVale McGee has not played a game for the Dallas Mavericks since 2023. He played a season in Sacramento. He won a championship.
Did you hear what they said? He ain't played a game for the Mavericks since 2023. He's still getting paid.
In Puerto Rico. He spent last season in Australia. This spring, he was playing in China. And he's still on the Dallas Mavericks books. He will be until 2028, which works out to about $6,000 a day from a franchise on the other side of the planet for a job he stopped doing 3 years ago. That's the same rule, same formula. The only difference is how many years were left when somebody decided which ones to use.
He got a hell of a bag, a hell of a deal. You know what I'm saying? Now let's take a look at a few people who dropped the bag. You know what I'm saying? We looked at who got the bag. Let's see who dropped the bag.
Pulled the bag after rejecting huge deals. In 2021, Victor Oladipo turned down a 2-year, $45 million deal from Houston, hoping for more. He could have gotten nearly $200 million in total, but instead landed in Miami.
I actually feel sorry for Oladipo because he was a hell of a player, man. He had some terrible injuries, man. It really fucked up his career. He's trying to get back to the NBA to work out, so hopefully he can find his way back. But I actually feel sorry for him when this occurred. But hey, man, the lesson learned here, man, take the bag, man.
Miami on minimum contracts, with injuries keeping him out of the 2023 finals. Dennis Schroeder rejected a 4-year, $84 million deal from the Lakers, then had to settle for a...
He was a damn fool. You got to take the money. Who else going to offer you that type of money? So, Schroeder, I don't feel sorry for you. You a damn fool.
1-year, $5.9 million deal in Boston, later bouncing around before returning to the Lakers for just $2.6 million. DeMarcus Cousins said no to a 2-year, $40 million deal from the Pelicans after his Achilles injury. No one else called, so he had to call up Golden State himself and took a $5.3 million 1-year deal, never regaining All-Star form. Nerlens Noel passed up...
New Orleans Noel. New Orleans Noel was a bum. Always been a bum. They offered him $70 million. The Mavs offered him $70 million. He declined it to put himself on the open market to shop to see if he can get a better deal. What a fucking bad decision.
On a 4-year, $70 million deal from Dallas, signed with Rich Paul to be his agent hoping for a better deal, then later tried to sue him for missing out on $58 million. In reality, Noel ended up taking minimum deals with OKC and short contracts with the Knicks. And finally, former number 1 pick Joe Smith. He turned down about an $80 million deal from Golden State, got caught in a scandal with the Timberwolves, and instead of cashing...
Boy, how can they sleep at night knowing they blew all this money, man? It's damn, they blew a lot of money, man. God damn. Shit.
out, he spent the rest of his career on short, cheap contracts. NBA players who...
All these contracts reminds me when I was growing up. I guess not when I was growing up. I guess when I got older, I remember the Bobby Bonilla contract. Let's take a look at it. It's probably the smartest contract in baseball history. As far as financially, are you still getting paid? So let's take a look at it first.
July 1st, 2025, it's that special day of the year. Baseball fans know it as Bobby Bonilla Day. $1.2 million deposited every year for 25 years.
So Bobby Bonilla Day is basically the beginning of the baseball season. So when the season of baseball begins, Bobby Bonilla gets paid. He gets paid up to 2035. This shit crazy ass contract. Let's take a look at it.
I wonder what he's doing today.
Bobby Bo Day. It's a beautiful day. Bobby Bonilla, back in the late 80s and early 90s, he was one of the most electric players in the game. A great talent, both average and for power, and most notably from both sides of the plate. Most people today know Bobby Bonilla only because of this contract and its enduring legacy. This was a very unique deal at the time. Me and my agent came up with a plan. I think a lot of people are blown away by the deal.
You talk about structuring a contract for your family for wealth down for the future. This was a hell of a contract. This was a great deal that he was able to structure. So, yeah, you got to give it up to Bobby Bonilla. He was ahead of his time with this deal.
The famed Bobby Bonilla contract is really sort of an outgrowth of the end of his career. He's come back to the Mets a second time. He still had $5.9 million left on his contract, and there was a mutual desire to not pay that all out in one lump sum, but to spread this out in this very unique fashion. So the deal included $5.9 million that he was owed, but there was a 10-year pause on the payout at 8% annual compounded interest, then paid out over 25 years, something like a fixed annuity, and that compounded interest.
Man getting paid to 2035. 2035 from the Mets.
Interest paid out over that quarter century was how you got to nearly $30 million.
July 1st is guaranteed income, steady, simple, and secure. Doesn't suck. Doesn't suck.
When I think about Bobby's deal, there's certainly a simplicity and a security in that deal, but I also just think about how innovative and how trailblazing it was and the legacy that still lives.
That's exactly what I said. It was innovative, trailblazing. All those words he's saying is what I said. He was ahead of his time, man. Making a deal like that at that time was unheard of. And I don't understand how more baseball players didn't make deals like that. Their money's guaranteed. Basketball players' money's guaranteed. I don't know for the life of me how the football player can't get in their collective bargaining agreement to get their money guaranteed. They're in the most physical sport, the sport you're prone to get injured in. So it seems like out of all the sports, their money should be guaranteed. So they need to go back to the board and figure out a way to guarantee their money. But I just wanted to just gloss over a couple contracts and look at some contracts for people who dropped the bag, who got the bag, and kind of let that sit with you. And see how some of these athletes are maximizing their money, and some of them not so. So this is Mills Dog. Subscribe. We carry all kind of topics, serious, funny, you name it. We gonna cover it. Don't miss out. We're gonna blow up one day, so I want you to be part of it. Peace.